Hey, it's Tom Sinclair, that streaming idiot, your chief idiot today. Got some interesting questions and answers today about desktop versus laptop and the best mic to choose. Also, our list of upcoming guests is growing and growing. Your name might be on it. Hang around. Hey, folks, welcome to Streaming Idiots. I'm Tom Sinclair, the chief idiot, I guess you would call me, Chief Idiot Tom Sinclair. Oh, boy, that's a title I never, ever thought I would get. It's not something you sit around thinking about when you're in high school. Today's show is going to be interesting. We've got some good questions and answers, and then we want to talk about some of our upcoming guests because we don't have one today. But full disclosure, again, want to make sure we get this out of the bag right off the bat. I am an authorized reseller for VidBlaster and vMix, and also design and build custom PCs, and would be delighted to help you with any of that if you have a need for that. You can go to our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, and see all that offering, as well as a bunch of accessories that we've tested and used over the years that you can buy from Amazon. We get a small Amazon affiliate commission if you use those links, which I always appreciate. Thank you. Straight to our questions. Got a question from Rick. And Rick and I were talking by phone this morning, and Rick is interested in purchasing some of the software. And he said, but Tom, this is what I want to do. I want to use it to broadcast sports. And that means I'm always going to be in an arena or a gymnasium or a stadium or something like that. So I want to make it as easy to pack up as I can, but I also want something that can have up to 4 cameras. What can I do? That's a great question, Rick. And here's what I told Rick. If you want 4 cameras, you can do that with a laptop PC, or you can do it with a desktop PC. The laptop is going to be less bulky to transport, but there will be an extra piece that you'll need with the laptop, which will be a box that will attach to the laptop, and inside the box will be a 4-port capture card. Now, the box can attach to your laptop by various means, depending on what your laptop has got. If your laptop has a Thunderbolt port, you'll be able to attach in that way. But you're going to have a pretty new, powerful laptop in order to pull that off. Another option is to have a desktop either built or build yourself or buy it from, numerous places online. Something that you can maybe add a handle to yourself or put in a travel case. And inside that PC would be your 4-port capture card so that you can capture all 4 cameras. With that, you also have the ability to have multiple hard drives for instant replay storage and for long-term storage of previous videos. You will need to bring along a monitor or 2 or even 3. I like 2. I like having that extra desktop space. And of course, you'll need a mouse and a keyboard. Now, there are all-in-one kind of boxes, not the all-in-ones that you'll get at Best Buy, but the all-in-ones that have the keyboard that flip out and have a mouse attached and have the monitor built into it. We're actually working on one of those as our project right now. Nothing really to report on the project, not making much progress at this point. So I didn't really suggest that to Rick because I didn't have something that I could actually show him, this is what it would look like. But those are your 3 options: laptop, desktop, or that lunchbox PC is what they typically call it. Now, you can buy the lunchbox PC pre-configured with all types of software. Livestream has got one, vMix has got one, and I'm sure some other folks have some that have all the capabilities built into it to switch cameras and add graphics and do all sorts of other neat and fancy stuff. Or you can do a homebrew where you're building your own PC to your own specs or having it built for you, and then adding in the appropriate software. In our case, we would recommend VidBlaster or vMix. The second question we got to actually had a session, a mentoring session with Roy over the weekend. Roy, thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. And Roy is setting up a studio, or actually what he hopes is going to be a ton of studios that will work all over the world. And the kind of thing where somebody can purchase a kit from him that would include a green screen, a backdrop like this one, would include a good mic like the Audio-Technica 2105, or excuse me, what is that? That's a 2005. Nope, 2100. 2005 is the black model, and would include the appropriate software and headsets and all that kind of stuff. And so we were talking about that and going through the list, and he was on his headset. He said, I really like this headset, blah, 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 blah. It was a USB headset. And I said, well, if you're doing this, if y'all are doing this professionally and your client is on the other end of this video call and you want them to be impressed with your professionalism, that mic is not going to cut it. Because what I hear is a real tinny kind of sound like you would get from a gaming headset or something like that. That may have been what it was. It was a Plantronics headset. And I said, you're going to have, in my opinion, you're going to have a good mic. Now, we talked about the Audio-Technica AT897 that I've got. That's $250, and it's a condenser mic. So that means it's going to pick up all of the extraneous noise, the air conditioner outside, the dog barking in the background. It will pick up the echo, the bounce off of the walls. Here in my studio, I've done a lot to sort of deaden this room so that I'm not getting a lot of bounce back, so that this condenser mic really sounds good. The other alternative is to go with a dynamic mic, cardioid dynamic in this case, like the ATR 2100, for about $50. And you can get it on sale for less than that if you shop the sales. And that can be positioned, and again, I'll show it to you here. And as I showed it to him, it comes with a stand, it comes with a cable, it'll go USB or XLR, and it can be positioned on the desktop out of sight and can be sounding pretty good. I mean, you have to tweak it a little bit. I don't have this one tweaked, or I demo it for you. And he said, well, here, let me switch over to the mic in my Logitech C910 webcam, because my technician told me that he thought that sounded really, really good. So he switched over to that mic, and it sounded like a webcam mic. And it may have been the room. I suspect that the webcam mic is a condenser mic. I don't know that for sure. And whatever's in the webcam mic is probably the same kind of mic that's in the Plantronics headset, unless it's got some sort of noise canceling. But in this case, the noise canceling either wasn't turned on or it wasn't working well, because I could hear the room. I could hear the echo off the walls. And I'm thinking, you can go out and buy, what have I got? Half a dozen moving blankets and some large fiberglass boards and, some other pieces of cloth and things like that hanging around to pick up the noise. Or you can just buy a dynamic mic that's gonna take out all that sound. And he said, well, here, hold on a second. I've got another mic option I want to try. I want to try the mic option in my Microsoft Surface. And so he switched over to the Surface. Well, I had a hard time telling the difference between any of them. They all sounded kind of tinny. And again, maybe it's the room, but maybe it's the mic. And so the question is, do you fix the room or do you fix the mic? Well, if you're asking somebody to put this up in a temporary environment, i.e. somebody that might be working out of home for a half a day, 1 day a week, to do whatever this project is, and so they're going to get one of the portable green screens and put it up behind them, and they're going to attach a webcam like the C910 or the C920, which would be my choice, of course, and use that. You don't want to spend a lot of extra time having to redecorate your room with all this sound absorption material. Why not just get the mic that's going to do well for your voice? So that was my advice to Roy. Roy is, as you build this kit and you're going with the green screen and you're going with the webcam, go ahead and go with the mic. Because, number one, I don't think you'll regret it. Nobody ever regrets good audio. People get annoyed at bad audio if it's scratchy, if it's, heaven forbid, if it buffers, or if it cuts out, and you lose frames in essentially losing frames in the audio. You remember on this show we had a terrible problem, probably 6 months or a year ago, with random pops and clicks that would just appear in the audio. And we found out that was coming from the PC being overstressed and couldn't process everything as it needed to. But having good audio is really going to be critical if you're doing that in a customer's environment. So kudos to Roy for taking time to ask the questions and to get outside opinion from somebody else. Now, if you call and ask my opinion, I'm delighted to have you do that. Send me an email, tom@streamingidiots.com, and we can set up a call, a video conference. And I'm not going to try to make you feel good. I really am not. I want to try to help you be the best that you can be in whatever it is. And sometimes it means that, I kind of have to tell you, yeah, that's not working for me. If I were the customer, I wouldn't be feeling good about this. So if you want an honest opinion, please feel free to holler to me. If you want somebody to make you feel good, ask your best friend, because your friends will lie to you. Your friends will say, oh, that's great, that's wonderful, you're doing a good job, because they love you and they don't want to hurt your feelings. Not that I want to hurt your feelings, but that I'll give you the unvarnished truth, because I want you to be good. I want you to be really good. And in order to be good, you have to know where you're screwing up. And your friends will lie to you. They don't mean to. They just don't want to hurt your feelings. Or they don't want to be the one that tells you that when everybody else is telling you how great you are, and they say, well, you really suck. Can you say that on TV? That's right, this is not TV. Never mind, we're okay. I'll bleep that out later. Your friends won't tell you when you suck. And if you need somebody to tell you you suck, then shoot me an email, tom@streamingidiots.com, and we can set up a conference and talk about it and fix it. That's really the key thing. You want it to have good audio. You want to have good video. You want things to look good. You want your chroma key to work right. And if you're having trouble with that, if it's not working the way you think it, if your lighting's not good and you're getting kind of weird video artifacts, it may be a really, really simple solution. And I would be happy to help with that. One of the folks in the chat room, Anderson from Barbados, is saying that he always says video production is not just all video. It's only 75% video. The other 25% is audio. And Anderson, I wholeheartedly agree. And we're working on getting Anderson to come on this show. He's going to have to do that sooner or later. We do have, speaking of guests, we have got a guest lineup like you wouldn't believe. This lineup is getting longer and better as time goes on, and so and everybody's waiting for NAB to get over. NAB is going on even right now as we speak. They're out there in Las Vegas having a big old time talking and doing video and audio and seeing all sorts of new great products. And we're not going to try to do any of that. If you want to get that, just Google NAB. NAB show or something like that, and you'll get it. I think Teradek is doing a live feed all day, every day from NAB, nablivevideo.com, and you can see it. And it even records it, so you can go back and see what they showed yesterday. But some of the guests coming up I'm really excited about. We've got Pat with Osprey Video that's coming up. Remember, the company that had Osprey sold it to the company that actually manufactured the cards for Osprey. and they wanted to have a little bit more control of their own destiny. So they bought it, kind of renamed themselves Osprey Video, and they've come out with a new lines of capture cards. So they'll be coming on to talk about those. John with Live to Air will be coming on, again, after NAB. Live to Air, you remember, is that really cool, it's a separate PC. I know that violates my one-man, one PC rule for broadcast. But if you're doing a talk show and you're having multiple guests, or you're having guests call in, you need a virtual green room to put them in. And the Live to Air is that. The calls come into the Live to Air PC and then can be sent to the production PC, as many as 4 guests at one time. It's all handled by WebRTC. It's high definition, good quality audio. It's neat. We're going to be demoing that before too long. The guys at Chatwing, our own little chat service that we're using right now if you're watching us live. The guys at Chatwing are going to come in and talk about Chatwing, where it came from, what's going on with it, what's going on with their new subscription service for Chatwing. I'm using the free one. You know what a cheapskate I am. And I think it's working great. So the guys from Chatwing will be there. Ted from Tally Lights. Remember, we're using Ted's Tally Lights. Now, I'm the only guy in the studio, so the fact that the Tally Light is on that camera, you know, I'd be looking at that camera anyway because I'm the one switching them. But I'm testing it, and that's the thing. I'm trying to break it. And I thought I had it broken, but Ted fixed it. It was basically the USB controller was underpowered. Wasn't getting enough power from my USB jack. So when we put in a powered hub and plugged it into that all the problems went away and everything worked perfectly. And that's been going on 3 weeks now. So we're in good shape. But Ted's going to come in and talk about Tally Lights. And we got him hooked up with Martin Sinclair at vMix. So he's going to start making an adaptation of his Tally Light process to work with the vMix system. Right now it works with TriCaster, it works with VidBlaster, it works with Wirecast, it works with conventional camera, not conventional, but with broadcast cameras that have Tally Lights in them. And vMix was the only one it wasn't working with, so we were kind of a go-between to work with Ted and Martin to get that working. Oh, and we have Martin Sinclair from vMix coming on. Martin is having a big old time out in NAB. Today in the pre-show, we kind of popped into that NAB show, and he was demoing the vMix, the new live replay system, which will handle up to 4 cameras HD simultaneously for replay. So that's going to be huge in the video world so far as sports are concerned. Martin will be here either next week or the week after, so check our Twitter feed. What is our Twitter? You can go to the website, Eastern Shore Broadcasting, and find our Twitter. I don't even know what it is. You ought to know that stuff, don't you think? Anyway, it's there. Albert Einstein used to say, I don't know my phone number. I can always look it up if I need it, but I never call myself. I like that kind of thought. I don't need to know my Twitter thing is. I can look it up when I need it. I don't look at my Twitter. I already know what I posted. I posted it. Also coming up, and this is good, and I wanted to save this one for last because I think this is could be one of the most interesting ones. Although I think John and Pat and Ted and Martin are going to be, and the Chatwing guys are going to be very, very interesting. This might just be the real diamond in that group, and this is Tracy from the Red Sweater Lady. And you say, what? What is he talking about? What does that have to do with video or audio or streaming or recording or webcasting or whatever we're doing? What does it have to do with it? Well, Tracy is a presentation expert. She's an expert in diction. She's an expert in speeches. I was listening to a video of hers, I guess yesterday, where she was talking about how to maintain audio. If I could speak, I'd be dangerous. How to maintain audience interest as all of you guys head for the exits. And she talked about the different methods that you can use and that some people just do them naturally and other people don't do them naturally. You've probably had professors in college or teachers in school that talked in the same voice all the way through and never really changed anything, and They just went on and on and on and on. And heaven forbid if you had them for an 8 o'clock class on Monday morning. That wasn't good. I had one of those. So she's talking about how to be interesting as a speaker, how to be interesting as a show host. Ah, that caught my eye. So I sent her an email and I said, hey, I like your video. Can I use you as a resource on my soon, not yet, but coming future resource page on easternshorebroadcasting.com? And she wrote me back within, 20 minutes, and she said, I would be honored to be there. And so I wrote her back and I said, well, maybe you'd come on our show as a guest? And she said, really? Yes, I'd love to. So that's going to be great. And Tracy's got she's got weekly YouTube videos that she posts that are just 3 to 5 minutes, little tips and tricks. Go on YouTube and do a YouTube search for the red sweater lady, and you'll bump into Tracy. And she also has some classes that you can sign up for that you would pay for, that would either be live as like a webinar kind of thing, or some pre-recorded things that you can sign up for, and they kind of walk you through. She's got a great series on if English is not your first language and you still have a strong accent and you want to get rid of that accent so that you can become more understandable, this is how you do it. Point A, point B, point C, point D. So she's very skilled with the spoken word. And we're going to get Tracy to come on and give us some tips. In fact, she might even be watching right now. If that's the case, we're in trouble. So that's Tracy the Red Sweater Lady coming up in a couple of 3 weeks. Ted at Tally Lights coming up in a couple of 3 weeks. Martin at vMix in 1 or 2 weeks. The guys at Chatwing. John at Live to Air. Pat at Osprey Video. It's going to be an exciting spring of guests, and can't wait to get them here with us. Not really here in the studio, but virtually present. And don't forget, I'm going to make sure on Twitter that we give you some advance notice of this stuff, and we'll probably put a schedule up on the website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to be watching that show live, whatever these shows are, watching them live, chatting in the chat room, and having the ability to have a little bit of feedback to the guest, ask questions, make comments. That's going to add a lot of richness to the broadcast. So I hope you'll participate in that with me, and I'll try to make it as obvious as to how to get up with us in order to do that as possible. I'm sure when we have John at Live to Air that we will be doing Live to Air, probably using his equipment, and have the ability to take calls, video calls from the audience. So that will definitely be a part of that show. But for the other shows, I suspect it's going to be kind of a chat room kind of thing. So, but still, you have to be present to win, as they say. You have to be present to enter. So we've got that coming. I will make a note, and I'm going to put this on the website too, that if you're watching us on your tablet, and we send out 2 streams. We've got a 720 stream when we're doing this live. Now, this is live. If you're watching us on YouTube, YouTube gives you lots of different video resolution options depending on your internet connection, probably. But if you want to watch on your tab live and you don't want to watch the low resolution feed, the 180p feed, and you'd rather watch the 720p feed, well, the problem is that your tab probably doesn't have flash. So in order to view the 720p feed in flash, you have to use a different browser than your regular, like Chrome browser or something like that. And I found one that works pretty good. It's called Flash Fox, Flashfox, all one word. So go to the Google store and check out Flash Fox. I don't know if it's a paid thing or not. I know it had a little ad across the bottom, so I guess it's not. But you can watch the show when you watch the show live on your tablet, and you've got a Wi-Fi connection. That is, you're not using bandwidth on a data plan. But if you have an unlimited bandwidth plan, or if you have Wi-Fi available, then you want to watch us in the 720 feed because it's so much better. And you really want to see this face in all of its glory, high resolution. Yeah, right. Okay, well, enough of that stuff. So check the website for guests in the future. Send me your questions and answers. Let me rephrase that. Send me your questions. I'll give you the answers. Send me the questions. If you got a problem, you keep bumping into the same thing, don't knock your head against the wall. Shoot me an email, tom@streamingidiots.com, and I'd be happy to help you work it out. And we can do a video conference too if you want to. And you can go to easternshorебroadcasting.com, go to the streaming section, and you can even schedule a video broadcast there. So we can do that. Let's see if we got anything out of the chat room, guys. No, they're talking about something else entirely. The chat room's just a whole other world. Anyway, it was a treat to have you with us today. If you watch us on YouTube and you made it here to the end of the broadcast, thank you very much. But don't forget to subscribe, because we'll send you notices whenever we boy, I was doing so well up until that point. We will send you notices whenever we post new broadcasts, new episodes, new shows, whatever in the world they are. All that in one breath. I am Tom Sinclair. I am the Streaming Idiot. It has been my treat to be with you today and bring you this show. And so I'm hoping that you'll come back, that I haven't scared you off. But until next time, when you do, so long. Yep. And, I was doing so great up until that point, and then all of a sudden, my video didn't want to work. What do we got to do to make this video work? Video is really the audio part of the video that we have to make work. Let's try again. This will be fun. There we go. Y'all take care. And remember, your tip for the week is, don't be an idiot.